You know the names: Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. Their headquarters are now global empires, and their products are a part of our daily lives. But they didn't start in glass towers. They started in dusty, cramped suburban garages. So what's the secret? What turns a workbench into a launchpad for a global revolution? This is the story of how a few determined people turned simple ideas into trillion-dollar companies, all from inside these four walls. Apple. In 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the Apple I, a bare circuit board, in Jobs' parents' garage in Los Altos, California. They weren't there for the romance of it. They just had no money. Wozniak was the engineering genius who designed the board, while Jobs was the visionary who saw a future where computers were for everyone. He convinced Wozniak they shouldn't give the design away. They should sell it. That garage became their R&D lab and factory. The defining moment came when Paul Terrell, owner of the Byte Shop, ordered 50 computers, but fully assembled and payable only on delivery. Jobs secured the parts on 30-day credit, a huge gamble. For a month, they and their friends worked relentlessly to build each machine by hand. They delivered the computers, got paid, and Apple became a real company. That early success funded the Apple II, one of the first user-friendly personal computers, which set the company on an unbelievable trajectory. Apple became the first American company to hit a market value of $1 trillion, then $2 trillion, and then $3 trillion. The culture, born in that garage, the belief that a few passionate people can change the world, still drives the company, which now has a market cap near $3.4 trillion. Amazon. In 1994, a Wall Street executive named Jeff Bezos saw a wild statistic. Internet usage was growing 2,300% a year. He saw a historic opportunity. Using what he called the regret minimization framework, he knew he'd regret missing the internet boom more than leaving his job. So, he quit. His idea was an online store, and he chose books as the perfect first product because the internet could offer a catalog of millions of titles. He named the company Amazon after the world's largest river. The company's first headquarters was the garage of a rented house in Bellevue, Washington. His desk was famously a wooden door with 4x4s for legs, a symbol of the frugality that is still a core company value. In the early days, a bell would ring in the office with every order. Within weeks, it rang so often they had to turn it off. Bezos and his small team packed boxes themselves on the concrete floor. In just the first month after launching in July 1995, they had shipped books to all 50 states and over 40 countries. The growth was explosive, and that garage became the blueprint for a global empire. Google. In the mid-90s, the internet was a mess. Two Stanford PhD students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, had a better idea. Their project, nicknamed Backrub, was based on a simple concept. A web page's importance is determined by how many other important pages link to it. This idea, later called PageRank, was the key. Their search engine became so popular it kept crashing Stanford's network. They knew it had to become a real company. In September 1998, they rented a garage in Menlo Park from Susan Wojcicki, who would later become the CEO of YouTube, for $1,700 a month. That garage, with its bright blue carpet and a ping-pong table, became the first Google office. Their big break came when Andy Bechtolsheim, a co-founder of Sun Microsystems, saw a demo and wrote them a check on the spot for $100,000 made out to Google Inc. The only problem was, Google Inc. didn't exist yet. The check sat on a dresser for 2 weeks while they scrambled to incorporate the company. That short period defined Google's culture, and the company that now organizes the world's information is valued as Alphabet at over $2.4 trillion. Microsoft. Our final story begins in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in 1975. Childhood friends Bill Gates and Paul Allen saw the Altair 8800 computer kit on the cover of Popular Electronics. They realized the machine had no software, a body without a brain. They decided to write the brain. They coded a version of the basic programming language for the Altair without ever touching the machine. Allen flew to Albuquerque to demo it. He loaded the program, typed print 2 plus 2, and the machine printed 4. It worked. MITS, the maker of the Altair, licensed the software. Gates dropped out of Harvard and they founded Microsoft. While they didn't have a literal garage, their small Albuquerque office was the command center for a software revolution. Here, they pioneered their business model, licensing software instead of selling it once. Their big break came in 1980 when IBM needed an operating system for its new PC. Microsoft bought an existing system, refined it into MS-DOS, and licensed it to IBM while keeping the rights to license it to others. As PCs took over the world, so did Microsoft's code, leading to an empire that today has a market value approaching $3.8 trillion. The godfather of the garage, Hewlett-Packard. Before all of them, there was the original. In 1939, Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard, with just $538, started a company in a one-car garage in Palo Alto. That tiny space is now considered the official birthplace of Silicon Valley. It was here they built their first product, an audio oscillator for testing sound equipment. Their first big customer was Walt Disney Studios, which bought 8 of them to certify the sound systems for the movie Fantasia. That single order didn't just launch a company, it created the myth of the garage startup that would inspire all the others. So, what is the magic of the garage? It's clearly not the physical space, it's what the garage represents. It's a symbol of starting with nothing but an idea and determination. When you have no resources, you are forced to be relentlessly resourceful. When you have no safety net, you are forced to focus on the one thing that truly matters, building a product that customers actually want. When you don't have a boardroom, your customers become your board of directors. These stories prove, beyond any doubt, that the world's biggest and most influential empires don't need to start in towers of steel and glass. They can start with a couple of friends, a desk made from a door, and an idea that the rest of the world just might think is crazy. What's another legendary startup story we should cover next? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about how the biggest companies on Earth got their start, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.